Time now for Options Insight. I'm Abigail Doolittle. Joining me today from the CBOE in Chicago is Scott Bauer of Prosper Trading Academy. Happy Friday to you, Scott. Thanks so much for joining after last week. Great discussion. And, right now we have some breaking news. Of course, the news coming from Iran and the seizure of a British oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. Stocks falling modestly on this. What are your thoughts here? Headline risk, or could it actually be more?
No, I think it's headline risk, and stocks are selling off just a little bit going into the weekend. But if you look at the oil space, Abigail, if something like this would have happened months ago, even maybe a few weeks ago, we probably would have seen oil take off to the upside, and we're not. And it's really subdued, and that's because of all of the information that's come out over the last 24, 48 hours about the oil glut that we have, lowered demand for oil globally. In fact, the chairman of the IEA came out last night and said they're lowering again demand consumption. That's going to be a 35% lower demand consumption than they had said just back in January. So that's really taking over more so than the risk headline.
So at the end of the day, then, you're saying it's really supply-demand around oil and the fact that there's just not enough demand. But at what point could this really affect stocks in terms of a real fear factor? What sort of escalation do you think, and what sort of precedent is there in your mind?
Unfortunately, the market has become immune to these types of risk headlines. And until something really serious happens, when I talk about really serious, I'm talking about that we have to send troops there or it escalates to something like that. The market is going to shrug this off right now and be focused on just a couple things: what the Fed does in a week and a half and earnings. Otherwise, unless there's some really catastrophic event, which we all hope to God, doesn't happen, that's it.
Thanks so much. Scott Bauer, Prosper Trading Academy. Thank you from New York. This is Bloomberg.